I was born in the Soviet Union during the communist regime, and it was hard to share or be a Christian at that time. So not everybody would have Bible in their homes, and if somebody would, they will keep it in a safe place, because if somebody will know that you have a Bible, the whole family can have a trouble. So when I was 5 years old and playing around this on the yard nearby this wood storage, it was Sunday morning, very sunny weather like today, and my grandmother invited me to the storage and said, "Olga, come here, come here." We came to the darkness of the storage. She closed the door, put on the candle, and said, "Olga, why don't you sit down on the bench?" And then she came to the very, far corner of the storage, took her old Bible from the secret place, sat next to me, opened this big old book, and she started reading story from the Bible to me. And then she read it for a little bit and then explained in a simple language which was understandable to me. So we spent this time every Sunday morning over the year, but when I turned 8, my family, my parents, started moving to another state of former Soviet Union. Then I graduated from the school and moved to Moscow because my dream was to be a history teacher. Then I did my dissertation, accomplished it, and did my PhD, and was invited by Soviet government to do the project together with my colleagues in the Department of Education. We was working for the special project. We did research and trying to do the program for family education for Soviet Union educational system. I did my part of the research, and through the research I feel very strongly that I need to know what the Bible is saying about the family relationship. I tried to find Bible, went to several libraries and couldn't find one. So then I decided to go to the biggest library of Soviet Union in Moscow. And when I went to the library, I said, "I need the Bible. I would like to read the Bible." And the administrator of the library was surprised by this question. He said, "What? Why you need it?" I said, "I'm doing research through the program which I'm responsible for, and I really need to read this book." Then he said, "Well, you need to go to the special room and sign that you will read it in a special room with a closed door and not share with anybody else." I had 8 hours to read the Bible and took notes from the Bible, that what I did. I found a little bit, because I was not familiar with the Bible, I found a little bit about the rules of the husbands and wives and the rules of the children. And I thought it was very important. And then I implemented in my part of the program, and when I actually explained this to the officials, government officials who was responsible for this program, reported to them, telling them that I found it from the old book, and this particular part really create a really strong foundation for the families in the past. And they enjoy it. They really thought that's very important part, and they can be implemented in this Soviet social communist program for the family. They didn't know I found it from the Bible. And the new minister for the new Department of Education was my former colleague from the Academy of Education. I was involved with the program I already mentioned. So one day I received official invitation from him to come to his office. And he said, "Olga, I would like you to be responsible for the moral education for the new educational system." And I was sitting across the table from him in his office and thinking inside of me, wouldn't he know that after the collapse of communism and Soviet Union, the communist ideology collapsed? And it's a huge vacuum in moral sphere. But he was a minister of education and very gently asked you, what kind of morality I will be responsible for? He said, "I don't know. That will be your responsibility to find the right morality for the new country of Russian educational system." I was thinking and thinking, and I was afraid of this responsibility. I was an educator, I was a lady. I never had this responsibility before, But at the same time, I understand the importance of that. And I feel very strong voice inside of me which told me, Olga, you must go and do whatever you can to make the future of the boys and girls in Russia better. It's very interesting. When the communists collapsed, it was hard to take yourself away from this ideology, and only Bible can help you with this. And there are a lot of people still struggling in Russia because they were so heavily brainwashed, the older generation. They can't afford, it's very hard for them to move to understand the other worldview. And I received my Bible from the hands of the elderly Christian who came to visit us from United States, actually. And he gave me as a souvenir. He said, Olga, this is a souvenir for you. And it was a Bible in Russian language. When I received it, during the official meeting we had, it was so precious for me to have your own Bible. I started crying. It was really important and precious for me to have my own Bible. I can read any time I would like to do that. And I started read this Bible every day after hours, after office, as soon as I will come home. I read it during the night time, and this book changed my life.